Hello everyone, this is Tristan Dodson on the mic, David Smith on the camera, back again. We have a matchup here. It's playoffs, it's the second game between the Wsanec Whalers in the green and the Nanaimo Buttermilk Waffles in the white and with black and yellow trim. Thank you everybody for tuning in, we appreciate you. Great day of ball hockey here at Eagle Ridge Community Center. Off the draw, the Waffles win it up, it's chipped in some feet. Josh Wilson picks it up. Feeds it to Samson, who tries to feed that to Brett Wilson, but it's out of his reach. Here come the Waffles. Offside on the line. Number 23, Runis, jumps to play a little bit. His teammate Fontaine, number 37, was trying to bring the ball in, but Runis slightly oversteps that play before the ball's in. Face-off draw will be just outside the Whalers zone in neutral territory. Off the draw, Brett Wilson wins. It's in his feet. He kicks it up, plays it to the corner. Chipped in by a Waffles player. Josh Wilson will pick that up. Josh Wilson controls, slows it down to Brett Wilson. Brett Wilson controls the ball, brings it up, gets center, spins off a check, plays it back. Josh Wilson controls, takes a look, backhand feed to Samson. Darian Samson controls, spins off a check, but then loses it to the middle. Here's Fontaine. Fontaine plays it down to Carson. Carson controls, watched by Josh Wilson, looking for Fontaine in front, but it's knocked off his stick. Kind of ran out of space too. It was behind the net there a little bit. Here's number 33 of the Whalers. I'm not familiar with who that is. He brings it in, takes a look, tries to bring it to himself, kind of double clutches it. Now a shot from Brett Wilson, swallowed up by the Waffles goalie. Number 33, no, I do know who that is. That's Kelsey Paul of the Whalers. I'll refresh my memory on that one, but forgot a little bit. There you go. Yeah, there you go. That's good. Face-off draw deep in the Waffle zone. Brett Wilson takes the draw against Brett Butterworth. Butterworth wins it, then it gets picked up though. Kind of in some feet there. I thought he had it, but it's picked up by Brett Wilson, who chips it to his teammate. His shot goes wide. Fought for in the corner here. Battle for the ball. Comes out to the center line. Brett Wilson controls, rather the zone line. And spun back in. Here's Will Henry. Henry watched closely there by one of the Waffles players. That was number 7, Smith, with a great play. Pass in front. Savard tried to play it up. It's out of his reach. It goes to Butterworth and try to play it back to the middle, but pass blocked. Here's Butterworth. Butterworth gets the zone, plays it back. Butterworth controls, tries a soft little pass down low to Savard, but it's blocked by Sylvester of the Whalers. The Waffles slow it down and pass across. Here's Minhas. Minhas all alone. Takes a look, shot, pad save, loose. And the second chance swallowed up by the goaltender, the Whalers. Number 39, the goaltender for the Whalers, is Jesse Sampson, I believe. Whalers win the draw, chip it up. Here's Seward. Johnny Seward tries to get the zone. Rose picks it off his stick. Seward's still hard on him though. Seward gets a stick on, knocked down, chipped to the corner from Seward's stick there. Good hand-eye. Battle for the ball. It's given away. Henry tries to feed it in front. Brett Wilson's shot blocked by Rose in front. Great defensive play. Now at the center line, it's chipped out just barely. Delayed offside. Now it's good. Will Henry was getting out the zone now. Play to the middle, given away. Here's Wilson. Wilson fires, gets it past the blocking attempt of Rose there. Now pass across shot, pad save. Clearing attempt, hits a funny bounce, stays in the zone. The Whalers putting some serious pressure on. Seward pass across, looking for Wilson, but picking that off is one of the Waffles players. Here they come in the zone. They get center. Beats one guy, beats the second guy. Great look. It's number 44 there. 44 is Bernard. Beats the first defender in neutral territory and spins it in the zone. Good look for Bernard there. Seward tries to get the zone, but it's knocked off his stick to the corner. It pops out at center. Sent back in. Pass across. Seward's shot. Rather, a shot in by the Whalers. Chipped off Samson's stick, not Seward. 8, not 18, and goes down deep. Wilson plays it up to Wilson. Shot, pad save. Up in the air. Brett Wilson will be the first to get there after he shoots as well. Pass in front, stick saved by the goalie. Pops out to the middle. Carson was trying to get there, but he oversteps it. Goalie plays it around the net. Picked up by the Whalers. That was number 5, Sam. Now Wilson gets tripped up. No call. He was going for the ball. Well, there was a call behind the play at the blue line. And the referees get in between a possible altercation there as David Sam was getting in the face of one of the Waffles players. I think that was number 81 of the Waffles. Or no, 91. I think that was Snellgrove possibly. No, it was Hall. Sorry, it was 81. Trevor Hall, I believe. That Sam was upset at. Kind of got in his face there. The refs break it up. Face-off will come out at center court. There'll be no penalties on the play, I don't think. Oh, there will be a penalty to Sam. So actually it'll be a face-off deep into the Whalers zone. I think Sam will go for a roughing. Napper power play for the Nanaimo Buttermilk Waffles. Just making sure you're good, it's good. A little bit of a delay in the dropping of the ball here. Is having a conversation between the refs and some players there saying what happened. Sam takes an undisciplined one there. Off the draw, Brett Wilson wins it. Here's Josh Wilson. Josh Wilson almost mishandles it, but he regains possession. Pass up, looking for Sampson, but it's out of his reach. Hits a funny bounce. Trevor Hall picks it up. Hall controls, watched by Sampson. Hall up the wall to Fontaine. Fontaine controls off the check there of Brett Wilson. Now comes out at center, but it's knocked right back in by Brett Wilson off Fontaine's stick. Fontaine, great poke. Wilson tries to play it back. He can't now. Here's Fontaine. Justin Fontaine controls, gets his own. Pass in front. Great stick defensively there. Number 16. Great play. Kept it at center line. Here's Hall. Hall fakes the slap shot, plays it down low. Shot blocked. Number 16 of the Whalers. Doesn't have him on their roster here, but unreal defensive play 2 times in a row there with the stick and one on the block. As well, pass to the middle. Shot from Carson, saved by Sampson. Rebound shot. Fontaine scores. The Whalers were putting on all the pressure in the first probably 4 minutes of this game, but then they take an undisciplined penalty, a silly one, and the Waffles make them pay. And they will take a 1-0 lead. Didn't confirm it there. There we go. Digital scoreboard starting to work. Napper power play goal, courtesy of Justin Fontaine of the Nanaimo Buttermilk Waffles. And they lead 1-0. Face-off draw center court. Butterworth wins it back. Sampson trying to hustle after it. He can't quite get there though. Good play by Darian Sampson. Just try to get that though and rush it up though. Minhas shoots it on goal. Jesse Sampson will swallow it up. The Whalers goalie for a save. Wilson was, not Wilson. Butterworth was driving the net, but Sampson swallows it up first on the side of the net. Face-off draw. Butterworth offensively and Wilson defensively. Butterworth wins it back, but nobody's there. It pops out the zone. Here's Snellgrove. Snellgrove controls, takes a look. Tries to pass up to Minhas, but it's knocked off his stick. That was Sampson making a great play. And chip play up. Fontaine to Minhas, now to Butterworth, back to Minhas. Waffy Minhas controls. Pass into the high slot, looking for Butterworth, but a bit of a rolling and a bouncing ball there, and that'll be it. Here's Paul. Kelsey Paul the other way, takes a look, spins off a check. That's Snellgrove watching him. Again spins off a second time. Drives the middle, and it's knocked off his stick by the defender in the center there. Play up, looking for Minhas. It's out of his reach, and Brett Wilson will play it up to Sampson. Darian Sampson controls. Played across at the blue line, but it's given away. Here come the Waffles. Here's Minhas, watched by Wilson. Sylvester's there as well. Sylvester will knock it off the stick as Savard almost had a chance in the high slot. Minhas shot just wide, looking for a tip of Butterworth. Couldn't get it though. There's Henry. Plays it up to Wilson, who leaves it back for Paul. Paul controls, a little tip pass to the center. He gets his own and chips it in deep. Paul watched closely by Rose there. Rose almost picks his pocket, but it gets Paul's body slides through and knocks the stick out of the ball there for a moment. Battle for it. In some feet, Paul falls down. Now play up, picked off, and lifts to the stick of Fontaine was Wilson. Paul now shoots off the glove of the Waffles goaltender, out of play. The defenders will, or rather the wingers will switch off for the Waffles. The Whalers will keep the guys they have on full here. Off the draw, Wilson wins it. Sylvester's shot just wide. Here's Josh Wilson again. Tip in front from Will Henry. It's loose. Paul was there, but Rose was there first. Great defensive play there by Lorenzo Rose. And here's his teammate controlling. Played up the boards just out of the reach for Rose there. Wilson backhands it in. Here's Josh Wilson's shot, and he scores! Brett Wilson to Josh Wilson. A very, very needed goal for them. And they tie it at 1. They were down 1-0. It's now notched up at 1 apiece. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate you. Shots on goal, 4-3 in favor of the Wsanec Whalers against the Buttermilk Waffles. Score 1-1. Off the face-off draw, stick gets dropped. That's Paul's stick. His stick kind of rolls off his hand there, trying to pick that up. They get the zone, but it's chipped right back. The Waffles do. Here's Wilson. Brett Wilson controls. Try to feed it to Seward, but it's knocked down in the middle. That was number 95, Oyster. Oyster gets it to number 44, Bernard. Bernard spins off a check of Wilson there, but then Wilson pressures him, chips it up to himself. Here's Wilson. Snellgrove watching him. Snellgrove with a great stick to knock it out of harm's way. Just the last moment kind of lifts Brett Wilson's stick. The goaltender was there as well, and he makes a save off the back boards behind the net. That's good. Perfect. Good angle, good angle. Oh yeah, good camera work, David. Appreciate you. Wilson will take the draw offensively, and he'll win it. Here's Brett Wilson off Josh Wilson's draw win. Shot. Hits the crossbar out of play. Good look. Off the iron. The goaltender pats. We didn't have the camera on it, but it was funny. The goalie gave the crossbar a pat like he was saying thank you. Face-off draw will be in the same spot it was moments ago. Goalie for the Waffles, I believe that's Banman. They have 3 players with number 31. They have Herb. That's not Herb. They have Curtis, steward of the Hot Wings, but he's not here, I don't think, today. I believe that's Banman of the, also plays in the Rock, I believe. Chip play up, trying to keep it in the zone was one of the Waffles players, but that was Snellgrove, but it gets past them. So that was Fontaine, rather. Brett Wilson pass up, tries to feed it to Josh Wilson. It's knocked down. High sticks in their own zone, so it'll be fine. Fought for. Fontaine controls. Fontaine plays it up. Hustling after that's number 23, Nikos Runis. Runis controls. He loses the ball for a second. Paul pressures him, but trying to keep that was Fontaine, but it goes through his legs there past the play. Here's Seward to Wilson. Brett Wilson play up. Josh Wilson gloves it down. Josh Wilson controls and chips it in deep. And that'll be icing against the Wsanec Whalers here. Face-off draw will go deep in their zone. I believe to the right side of Sampson, their goaltender. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate you. Current score 1-1. Face-off draw. Josh Wilson wins it clean. Brett Wilson play up for Paul. Paul's there. He picks it up. Kelsey Paul's shot. Toe save Banman. Played off the high glass here. Kept in there by Wilson against Fontaine. Fontaine will battle against Josh Wilson and pick up the ball and regain possession. Play it around the wall. That was from Kunkel. Number 14 plays it around D-to-D. Now pass up to the middle. Chip play up, but nobody's there. Icing waved off. Or no, Dom said it was going to let it go, but the other official here, pardon me, will call it. Face-off will be down in the Waffle zone as that icing will be confirmed here. Thank you everybody for watching. Face-off draw upcoming in the Waffles zone after they ice it. Butterworth will take that draw defensively against Josh Wilson. Wilson wins it. Sylvester. Brett Wilson. Chip play. Knocked down by Minhas. Wafi Minhas gloves it down and controls. He'll get the zone. Watch closely by number 11 of the Whalers. That is Charlie. Pass from Minhas to the point. Time. A shot blocked by the stick of Josh Wilson there. Great way to get back. Here's Paul. Paul fakes a little chip pass to Wilson. Brings it in himself. He gets the zone. It's knocked off his stick. Sylvester will play it up off the high glass here to Josh Wilson, who gets the zone. Paul will take a look. Kelsey Paul. Josh Wilson through the leg. Shot. Beats the defender clean. Rebound hits the side of the net and goes out up in the air. Good chance for Paul there, but not enough wood on that one, on the twig to notch it home. Here's Brett Wilson to Paul's. Paul's shot goes way wide. Trying to go far post. Here's Josh Wilson. Controls. Shot, sharp angle, stick save Bandman. Rebound still there. Wilson spins off the check of Rose. Rose will get back and fight him for it. Well, that's number 7, rather. Who's number 7? That was Smith. My apologies. Now a play hits the roof. Pops out of play. Face-off will be into the left side of the Waffles goalie Bandman as they chip it out of play. Butterworth will take the draw. Star center for the Waffles against the star center here of the Whalers. Josh Wilson, number 66. Face-off draw. Butterworth wins it back. Smith pass up. Sorry, that was Hall pass up. Goes all the way out center, but Brett Wilson will be able to pick it up. Knocked down by Butterworth at center. Try to chip it back to Hall, but then it's picked off by the leg there. The body of Paul. A rebound in front. Josh Wilson's shot goes through, partially blocked. And on the doorstep, that was Charlie. Yeah, that was number 11. Chad Quinton Charlie was there on the right in the crease. Two of the Waffles players kind of help their goalie out and push him out of the way and make sure their goalie's not going to get poked at when he's already covered it. Quick whistle, so he must have had it. It's a bit far distance from here, but I didn't exactly see. Face off to the right side. Wilson and Butterworth again. Butterworth wins it back, plays it to Rose. Rose chipped up the boards, stick lifted. Charlie will help out at the line though. No, Charlie will try to play for Wilson, but plays it too far behind him. Brett Wilson plays it up. Here's Paul. Paul gets the center, takes a look, drives the middle. Kelsey Paul, backhand, pad save by Bandman. Clearing attempt comes out at center to lay it offside, but Brett Wilson will fake a slap shot. Now Wilson, Josh Wilson's shot, stick saved by Bandman in the air. Clearing attempt blocked. And shot on goal from Wilson again goes just wide now. Now it hits somebody in the bench. It hits the glove of Seward, I believe. Out of play, whistle down. There. Face-off draw will be in neutral territory just outside the Waffle zone. Same duo again on the draw. Butterworth for the Waffles and Wilson of the Whalers. Off the draw, Butterworth wins it back. Oh no, sorry, wrong. That's a different player here. That's number 51 of the Waffles taking that draw, and he wins it. Good for him. I haven't seen him be center this game. That was Steele. 51, Jake Steele. Swung around. They both have yellow helmets, so it confused me there for a moment. Up in the air. Rose plays it around. Nobody's there, but that was Henry was there in first in time. He played it to the line to Josh Wilson, to Brett Wilson, who fires. Partially blocked off of the foot of Chris Bernard, number 44, out of play, off the netting. Face-off will go deep into the Waffles zone, deflected off a Waffles player. To the right side of Bandman. Thank you everybody for tuning in, we appreciate it. Current score, like it shows on the digital scoreboard here, 1-1. Little bit. That's good. Off the draw. Picked up in some feet by the Waffles. It was kind of a toss-up there who won that, but then the Waffles pick up the ball. Now the battle for possession. Still kept by Paul. I thought it was going to be knocked off his stick. Now it's knocked off his stick. That was Snellgrove, and good defensive play. Played up Fontaine, gets the zone. Fontaine controls. With him is Runes, as well as now Carson driving the middle. Here's Runes. Runes knocks the stick out of Paul's hand, gets it through. Great play by Sylvester there, and a great look for the Waffles. Across, Josh Wilson, forehand, backhand, dangle on the toe drag, pardon me, and he draws a penalty. It's going to be a trip going to the Waffles player, I believe. I think that was 91 Snellgrove, or maybe there's something behind the play. No, that wasn't actually, that was behind the play rather, more towards the blue line here, out of the reach of the camera there. I was confused, so I was like, I'm not sure. I didn't think he tripped them. I was right, somebody else tripped somebody near the blue line, up in the air. Glove down by Sylvester, but it's picked up by a Waffles player, chipped up. We have a breakaway. Here's Carson, all alone. He shoots, saved by Sampson there, rebound. Pops free. Here's Runes. Runes around for Carson. Carson tries to get it off the stick of Wilson there, but Brett Wilson slows it down and spins it across. Josh Wilson gets the zone, chips it back. Snellgrove watching him hard. Wilson stays at center and takes a look. Wilson to Wilson. Josh to Brett. Brett controls, looks for a slap shot, instead plays it across the middle on a great look from the goalie. Tries to pick it up, he can't. Now it's cleared by a Waffles player all the way down on the PK. Half this penalty killed just about now. Here's Seward. Seward plays up to Brett Wilson, getting in the zone, taking a look. Pass to the middle. Sam was there, but it's just out of his reach. Here's Paul. Paul controls. Paul takes a look. Passes down to Sam. David Sam controls. Swung around. Brett Wilson. Wilson controls. Takes a look. Tries to bring it to the middle, but it's knocked off his stick. He'll get it back. Swung around. To the point. Here's Seward. Seward controls it. Shot. Stick save Bandman. Great shot from Seward there. Here's Butterworth. Butterworth clearing attempt. It comes out. Seward tries to get a stick on it. Ends up going between his heel of his stick in the space there. Seward will spin off a check now. That was Minhas trying to hustle back and put some pressure on him. Play up. Seward going to Brett Wilson to the middle to Sam, but it's knocked down. Good defensive play at center. Seward, Josh Wilson gains the center line, takes a look. Wines fires right in the midsection of Bandman there. He didn't know where it is. He looked to his side for a second. I think he might have thought it was behind him. But he'll have it in between the legs there in the 5-hole area. An absolute cannon unleashed by the Whalers player there at center. Face-off, Brett Wilson versus Brett Butterworth. Butterworth wins it, chipped up. Trying to keep it in out of the air with Seward, but it's just high off out of his reach. There's Jesse Sampson. Seward oversteps the ball. Chance for the Waffles, chip play up. Minhas fires. Loose, hits the post on the chance. What a look. Oh my God. Sampson got lucky there. He was beat. Number 17 of the Waffles, Savard, was all alone. The ball went right to his stick. He chips it on and it hits the far post after a awkward arm save in the air near the blocker by Sampson, the Whalers goalie. Brett Wilson against Brett Butterworth. Face off in the Whalers zone. Wilson wins it. Josh Wilson plays it up. Stays in play, almost hits the netting. Here's Hall. Hall takes a look. Brings it to center and chips it down. Josh Wilson will pick that up. Here's Josh Wilson. Butterworth was on him hard there. He gets it across to Seward. Seward's pass is blocked by Savard. Minhas tries to go back to Savard, but he can't. Now given away. Here's Minhas. Minhas control. Spin shot from a sharp angle. Sampson made an awkward save off the toe, kind of falling, and then holds it with his blocker hand. Good look from the Waffles here. Minhas with a great chance there. Kind of a weird play, but it almost works out. I have a different. Thank you for that message. I appreciate that because they have 3 people with the same number. Thank you to Alex Jacks for texting me that. It's Gord Stone's their goalie. I kind of just guessed, I'll be honest. We actually have 4 players with number 39. They have 3 goalies and a player. What the heck? So thank you to Jacks for that call out here. Pass across. Samson tries to pick it up, but he can't. Now he gets it, watched by the defender there, chipped in the middle, knocked down. Number 95 brings it in. It's Oyster, Shane Oyster in front. Battle for the ball. Bernard has it, but then it's picked up. There's Charlie to number 16, who's not on the roster, plays it to Paul. Paul controls. Paul has to back check a steal, but he gets through him. He gets knocked down at the zone line, and a bit of a dive. I think that's a good call. I think that's a good call. Thinking about it now, I think that's a good call. The reason why he was falling was because of that pick at the high glass there, so I actually commend Dom for that one. That's a pretty clear trip. I wanted to say it wasn't, but it was a pretty good call. Gotta give him a hard time sometimes, you know. But that time, gotta give him credit where credit's due. Good call there. There'll be a Napper power play for the Whalers here. Tripping penalty against Fontaine. Sorry, against Snellgrove, my apologies. Shot off the draw win by Sylvester, swallowed up by Banman. Off the draw, one again by the Whalers. This time a pass up to Wilson is intercepted. Brett tries to feed Josh. He can't get it through, though. Battle for the ball. Great play by number 44 there. Shot. They score! What a play. Unreal. The Waffles went on an insane shift there. Made quick work of the power play. Rather, sorry, they were short-handed, I think. Yeah, what am I saying? Short-handed goal. I got it mixed up. Yeah, the Whalers were on the power play. Short-handed goal for the Waffles. Down a man, 4-on-5. They still, it doesn't matter. They still make the Whalers pay. Pass across up the middle from Wilson to Sylvester. Now to Brett Wilson to Sampson. Sampson controls back to the line to Wilson. It's in his feet. Carson knocks it off his stick. Now Fontaine tries to clear it. He can't. But he'll regain possession. He'll battle with Brett Wilson. Brett Wilson lifts the stick. Great, strong play there. To Henry. Back to Brett Wilson, who fires wide. Rebound picked up by Carson. Ryan Carson controls. Slap shot far out. Kept in just barely at center line by Josh Wilson. Brett Wilson. Vincent Sylvester. Slap shot. Way wide. Trying to pick it up was Wilson, but it's picked up by Carson and try to clear it down, but it's off the face shield rather of the helmet of one of the Whalers players in the bench. So that'll be out of play for a whistle. Butterworth versus Brett Wilson here on the draw. Draw won by Wilson. It's in some feet, fought for. Pushed with the glove. And now sent all the way down on the penalty kill by the Waffles there. Here's Stone, Gord Stone, the Whalers goalie, plays it up. Wilson controls. Wilson takes a look. Slap shot from center, way wide, maybe looking for a rebound off the boards. And the goaltender Banman plays it to Rose. Rose gives it away to Sylvester. Sylvester to Wilson, who fires. Another one, rebound. Henry right there after he hits his own guy. He hits Sampson with that slap shot at the horn. I didn't realize he had so little time left in this frame. And just like that, first of two periods ends. Waffles lead 2-1 on that power play goal for them moments ago. Or rather, short-handed goal for them moments ago. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back at you shortly in about a minute or minute and a half with the second and final frame of the second last game of this afternoon at Eagle Ridge Community Center. Don't go yet. Still lots of action to be had. Thanks for tuning in, though. Appreciate it. Here we go. Hello everyone, this is Tristan Dodson, back at it again. On the mic, David Smith on the camera. Waffles lead 2-1 from a shorthanded goal. Just at the end of the first frame here. They'll still be on the PK for 28 seconds. Third penalty just from Snellgrove for a trip. Off the draw, it's in some feet. Fought for, the Whalers will end up picking that up. Here's Sylvester from Wilson. The Sampson shot, stick save Banman. The Waffles players picked that up, but great battle with the body by there was a high stick, but it wasn't called. Fair enough, as Dom was turned around. Understandable to not. He didn't see it, he can't call it. Here's a play out the line. That was Hall trying to clear it up, but it's intercepted by Wilson. Now Hall on Wilson hard, again, to try to pick it off. Wilson, the Sampson shot off of the foot of Henry to the corner. Play it up. Will Henry tries to get a whack at it, he can't. Sampson will help him out. Spun all the way around. Vincent Sylvester will keep it into the line. Play it to from the zone line, play it to Josh Wilson. And I didn't see what happened. It was behind the play. I think a slash maybe from the Whalers player. That was number 77, who I just said Henry. Cross-check penalty for the Whalers. Be a napper power play in favor of the Nanaimo Buttermilk Waffles, as Will Henry will cross-check a guy in front of the net, I think it was. It was behind the play. I was looking at the play come up just inside the neutral territory and try to play it past the center line, but then think while that was happening, there was a little bit of a battle in front of shot. They score off the draw. Snellgrove, 2-goal lead Waffles. The goalie is hyped. Waffles goalie Banman is tapping on the ground here for his team. As the Waffles now lead 2 goals, 3-1 against the Whalers. Face-off draw center court. Play it off the wall. Chipped down, number 16. Tries to feed it to Sampson. Now it's off his stick, but then Wilson will help him in the middle and plays it back to Sampson. Back to Wilson at the center, shot wide. Goaltender Bam will play it to the wall. Chipped up the wall here by the Waffles, trying to play it out. They do. Pass number 16 to Carson. Try to drive the middle, but Brett Wilson's back, and he gets a stick on it, which knocks it up into the netting, out of play. Good back check by Brett Wilson there on a great chance for Carson, maybe to drive into the middle and be on a breakaway, but Wilson says no on the left side here near the wall. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. Current score, like it says here on the stream, 3-1 for the Nanaimo Buttermilk Waffles against the Wsanec Whalers. Here's Snellgrove's shot, just had a goal. Stays in just barely off the high glass. Clearing attempt kept in by a Waffles player. Charlie, or rather Seward, battles with Butterworth and pinches him to the boards for a second, but then gets away. Now it's pass up. Josh Wilson controls. Shot on net. Ban will make a play with the stick and play it to his teammate. That was Rose. Renzo Rose controls. Rose brings it in, gets it past Paul, and then as well at the wall. Of interference penalty going to the Waffle, a body contact penalty. I mean, he makes a pick on him. I don't know about that one, but I don't like that one personally, but I think this is playoffs. I think you let him play, but whatever, the ref calls it. Fair enough. Wasn't much of anything there in my opinion. He did kind of move his body, kind of push his hip out to make a hit, but that's what happens in playoffs sometimes. It's what happens in hockey sometimes in general, but if it's playoffs, I would have let it go. Anyways, power play for the Waffles now. Once again, Paul goes to the box for body contact. Borderline one. Refs disagree. Pass to the middle. Whalers clear it down on the PK. Here's Butterworth. Butterworth plays it up. Number 17 controls. That was Savard. Now Savard brings it in, still has it for a moment, but then Brett Wilson knocks it off his stick. Wilson controls, takes a look, try to clear it down. It's kept at the line. Number 7, Smith. Pass across Minha, shoots. Awkward save by the goaltender, Gord Stone. To the slot, sharp angle shot from Savard is blocked. Here's Minhas. Minhas battling with Seward for the ball. Seward picks it off Minha's stick. Gets to Wilson. There defensively is Kunkel. Kunkel gets beat clean by Wilson here. Josh Wilson controls, hauls back as well. Shot, awkward save by Bandman. On a shorthanded break here where the Whalers were. Pass across from Charlie to Seward. It pops out at center. He'll knock it back in high. Kunkel gets a stick on that for a moment. Kunkel will get it and try to play it up to Oyster. Oyster oversteps it. It's picked up by Samson. Samson to Wilson. Wilson shot across, blocked. Pass up looking for a steal. He plays it behind him though. Fought for. Chip back in, but blocked by Seward. Here's Seward. Seward on a back check was number 44, Bernard. Bernard knocks it off his stick for a moment. Now Steele picks it up. Steele controls, plays it back to Bernard. Bernard slows it down. Or rather, sorry, that's number 81. That was Hall. Bernard is up the middle. Here's a pass to Oyster. Oyster takes a look, shoots. Blocker saved by Stone there on a great look from the Waffles there. Good chance. There you go. You didn't have the camera on it, now you do. Sorry. Off the wall, here's Rose off the draw in. Shot, tipped, but it hits a foot. Kept in, barely, by Snellgrove there. Now clearing attempt, Fontaine gets a foot on it. Fontaine will take a look. Kept in the zone, pass up, great look, a shot. Blocked by the leg there, number 16 of the Whalers with a great look. Great look for the Waffles, great play in front by the defender. Number 16 had a great pick there. Pass up, here's Paul, even strength. He's out the box here a couple seconds ago. Here's Paul trying to bring it in, but it's knocked off his stick. He runs out of real estate, spun around. Charlie will pick it up. Charlie shoots up the net on a sharp angle, but it's blocked down by a Waffles player. Here's Wilson. Wilson controls, pass in front. Charlie wide. Here's Rose, but he gives it away. Chip play up, and it's knocked down and pops out of play. The referee has a talk with Snellgrove, I believe that is. Yeah, that was. I'm not sure what it was about, but something, I assume. Something important, otherwise they wouldn't talk. Off the draw. Butterworth wins it back, goes to the goalie, it's Bandman. He'll play it up in the air to Smith. Smith tries to whack it, but it's fanned on. Now Wilson's there with Charlie. Charlie's there as well. Charlie shot behind the net. I think he was looking for to bank it off Bandman, but he didn't get all of it he wanted on that one. Here's Paul. Paul controls. He spins off a check, takes a look, still controls. Pass to the high slot, but nobody's there. Great play by Paul a couple times. Now here's Butterworth. Samson hustling back. Samson knocks it off his stick. Butterworth gets it back. Pass across Minhas. Look, shoots. Toe save Stone. Rebound. In front. Minhas again. Shot. Swallowed up by Stone. What a save. Great play by Samson there, number 8. To knock it out of harm's way for a moment. Get his goalie to be able to have time to reset. Face-off draw deep in the Whalers zone. They win it. It's in some feet, though, and almost given away, but the Whalers pick it back up. Here's Samson's shot. Save Bandman, and he's there for the rebound, but swallowed up by the glove of Bandman as well on the second chance. Says no. Time winding down in this game. Just over 11 minutes left in the second and final 17-minute period. Shots on goal 18-13 in favor of the Whalers, but the score is 3-1. favor of the Waffles with 13 shots. Less shots, more goals. Basically, that means that the Waffles goalie Bamman has been more solid on the plus-minus there. Or the goals against average, I guess, too. Fought for on the wall. Wilson pressuring Bernard. Bernard's still there. Wilson gets knocked down. The Whalers bench wanted a call, but they don't get it. Shot in front, loose. Play up. Slap shot from Smith goes just wide on the far post. Here's Oyster. Shea Oyster controls. Paul's on him. Paul picks his pocket for a moment. Oyster picks it back up, gives it to another player, Waffle player on the wall. Battle for the ball. Sylvester will fight with Steele. Steele was there, I think, and Paul and Sylvester for the Whalers, and I think it's stuck against the boards too long, so they blow it dead, so they can't move it in time here. Face-off will go to the left side of the Whalers goaltender Stone, deep in their zone. Steele on the draw against Wilson. Josh Wilson wins it back defensively. Sylvester clears it around the net, takes a funny hop though, slows down. Paul gets slammed to the boards by Bernard, delayed penalty. It's taken down as well. I don't know if they're going to, he had 2 penalties in one play. I don't know what they're going to call. A hold and a trip. I didn't know they could do that. So it's a 4-minute power play. The Waffles players takes 2 penalties in the same play here. I've never seen this before. That is very weird. That's interesting. That was Bernard. He gets yeah, that's very odd. I've never seen that. So face-off will go deep into the Waffle zone as they're on a penalty kill now. Yeah. There we go. Face off on the draw. Wilson to Wilson shot. Fontaine gets a block on that. Good play. Sampson tries to grab the ball. He can't though. He kind of hops over his stick twice. Now here's Josh Wilson to Sylvester. Shot high out of play. Good rip from Sylvester. Not where he wanted it to go though. An absolute cannon. But not on net. He couldn't get the aim there on that one. Face-off will pop just outside the Waffle zone as it's straight out by a Whalers player. Just over 3.5 minutes left in this power play. It was a trip and an interference, I believe. Shot, well, it was body contact and a trip to the same guy in the same play. So there have the Waffles player, it was Bernard, taking both those penalties. I didn't know you could even do that, but I guess you can. That's something you don't see every day. 2 penalties on the same play. 3 minutes, 42 seconds left in the Whalers power play. Off the draw, Brett Wilson wins it. It goes to Josh Wilson on the high glass. Josh Wilson controls. He takes a look, pass across Sylvester. Sylvester controls, played up. Brett Wilson on the wall here. Brett Wilson try to pass to the point to Sylvester. It's out of his reach, sent all the way down. Vinny Sylvester will pick that up. Controls. Pass up to Paul. Paul spins and gets the ball here. That rhymes. Here's Paul trying to make a drive to the middle, but it's knocked off his stick. His stick falls out of his hands, and it's dumped on goal. Stone will come out and play it. Stone plays that to Wilson, to Sampson. Bit of an awkward way to grab that. He couldn't. It was such a hard shot. It was hard for him to control it, but he does. Now a clearing attempt goes through again. Stone to Wilson. Wilson controls. Wilson takes a look. Pass up to Wilson. Josh to Brett. Brett shot. He scores! It's right through the 5-hole bam, and he's frustrated. So he got beat clean there. He's going to want that one back. Power play goal for Brett Wilson, and we'll still have 2 minutes left in the secondary penalty of the trip there. And the Whalers bring it within 1. 3-2. Off the draw, one of the Whalers players drives the middle, I think, before they drop the ball, so they'll redo it. Paul went the wrong way. He was the other direction. That was a bit odd, but he was forgetting it was the second period, and they switched ends now, I think. Here's Paul. Paul brings it in. Controls, drives the middle, takes a shot to the corner, spins around. Still a power play, 5-on-4. Wilson takes a look, pass across. Josh Wilson's shot. Save Bandman. It pops in the air. It's knocked down by Butterworth. Sylvester at the line. Fakes the slap shot, drives the middle. And now a shot. Stays in off the high glass. Clearing attempt. Fanned on. Another chance fanned on. Now they get it back and chip it down. Here's Butterworth. Butterworth gets the zone, short-handed, pass across. Runes shot. Glove save Stone, goes to the corner. Played up. Sampson to Wilson. Wilson controls, gets the zone, shot. Good defensive play by Snellgrove there. And good clear. Kept in just barely at the center by Josh Wilson. Wines. Great slap pass to Josh Wilson from Brett. Now kicked up and cleared down. Great penalty kill by the Waffles here. On the second one, at least. The first one they got scored on. We'll see if the Whalers can get one later in this tripping minor to Bernard. Fakes a slap shot with Snellgrove to Smith. Smith raises it high, gets it just past the reach of Sampson, trying to jump for that. Seward will get the zone and he'll fire it on net, blocked by Smith there. Great play. Tyler Smith controls. Played up the wall, but it's given away. It's Henry to Wilson. Wilson shot, he scores! Great play by Henry to knock that down as Smith coughs it up in his own zone. And it's tied at 3. And bad play by Smith there of the Waffles. The right idea, the wrong execution. I probably would have controlled it and brought it around my net, but easier said than done. When you're under that pressure, sometimes you want to make a quick play. That's what I assume Smith wanted to do. But unfortunately for him, Will Henry was right there to knock it down, and Josh Wilson gets it, smacks it home. Here's Bernard out the box now, trying to bring it in the zone. It's knocked off a stick in neutral territory. Henry takes a shot, stick save Bandman. Snellgrove will hustle after it. Snellgrove will play it up in the air, stays in. Takes a funny bounce. I'm surprised that Sadin went up in the air. Sent down, but that hits the netting. Out of play. Just over 7 minutes left in this game. It's tied at 3 now. The Whalers make a comeback here. They were down 3-1 for most of this first part of the second half, the second period rather. And just like that, they get a couple ones on that double minor. Those 2 penalties in the one play there. The trip and the body contact from Bernard. Here's Kunkel playing it up to Steele. Steele gets it off the high glass, chips it down. Josh Wilson picks that up. Josh Wilson controls. Plays it up, looking for Sampson. He gets it through. Sampson chip pass to Brett Wilson, now shot. Seward's hustling after that off that bomb from Wilson in the middle. Seward controls. Hall on him hard. Sampson shot. He scores! Oh my God, what a rocket. The Whalers take the lead. Clap bomb, Darian Sampson. What the heck was that? Where did that come from? He unloaded a cannon. Jesus. That was absolute bomb. It was in and out so quick I didn't even realize it was in. I didn't realize it was in it for the first couple seconds. I had to shake my head and make sure I saw that. I barely saw it, how fast it was moving. Off the draw, the Waffles win it up. Trying to get back in the game here, chipped up. Fontaine pushes Seward, and he pushes, or no, not Fontaine, who's that? Number 88, Carson, and number 18, Seward have a bit of a battle along the wall here. Face-off will pop outside the Waffles zone in neutral territory as it's chipped out by a Waffles player in the offensive territory, or just before it rather. Draw one by the Whalers. Wilson's shot. Takes a whack at it. Blocked. Here's Kunkel. Kunkel controls. It's to Carson. Carson plays it up. It's given away now. Kunkel controls it again. Watched by Wilson. Kunkel plays it up to Runas. Nikos Runas loses it, but gets the ball back and squishes Henry to the wall there. Here's Carson. Carson chip played in. Gets hit in the face by a stick. No penalty as he was driving the net. That's what's going to happen sometimes. It's offside at the center line, or rather at the zone line. Hall takes a little bit of a run at Seward there too, but that'll go unpenalized. Shoulder to head for one of the Waffles players. I think that in this league, I think you call that a penalty. He gets drilled. He puts his arm, he doesn't put his arm out to chicken wing him or anything like that, so I guess you can't really call that a penalty, I guess. Face off right in front of us here in the score box. Whalers now lead 4-3 moments ago. Clearing attempt off of the glove of Brett Wilson. Now comes out at center. Now Hall plays it up to Rose, but it's given away to Sam. Sam hustles after it. Here's number 17, Savard. Sylvester tries to get in the way. He can't, but then at center he chips it past Minhas. Brett Butterworth knocks Sam off the play there. They'll pull their goalie on a delayed penalty. Who are they calling a penalty on? I have no idea. Oh, they're calling Sampson for a body contact penalty that I didn't see, so I assume they got the call. It was behind the play. So we have some very, very good officials in this league. Some of the best in BC, I think. I didn't see it, but something happened that was warranted a body contact, and I wouldn't be surprised this game is getting a bit physical here. The Nanaimo Buttermilk Waffles will take a timeout. They'll be on a power play, and they're going to pull their goalie, so they'll have 6-on-4. Down a goal. We'll be back at you momentarily. The timeout from the Waffles was almost done. Timeout will be over. They'll bring their goalie back in. They pulled him to, I think, go to the, they have over 5 minutes left, so I thought they were going to pull him. I was going to say that's a bit risky with only down one goal and already on a power play as well, but they were just bringing him over to the timeout to talk it out. He'll go back in the net now. It's Banman. Chip play around. That's Rose playing around off the stick of Savard, picking up his Butterworth to Minhas. Minhas takes a look. He's knocked off his stick. Play it up. Henry to Wilson's shot while way wide. Comes around to Brett Wilson though. Brett Wilson takes a look. Watched closely by Savard. Savard on Wilson. Wilson spins off Savard's check, gets it past. Minhas will stand him up at the line. Wilson gets off to Henry. Now to Josh Wilson, back to Brett Wilson. Whalers short-handed. Minute and 12 seconds left in this power play for the Waffles, but they're in their own zone. Chip play up. Snellgrove will try to get there, but Will Henry will play it down to Josh Wilson. Josh Wilson will play it behind his own net to kill some time. Play up the middle. Here's Fontaine. Fontaine pass up to Butterworth. Butterworth gets the zone. Controls, tries a pass to the middle, blocked by Wilson. He gloves it down, now pass to Fontaine. Fontaine plays it back. Here's Smith. Slap shot. Helmet saved by Stone there right off the mask. Pass down low. They control. And some feet. Smith again, a shot just high. Rebound from Fontaine. It ends up in the glove of Stone there with a huge save off the glass. Unreal. Stone's standing on his head here, boys, late in this game. My God. The Whalers still lead. 23 seconds left in the penalty kill for the Whalers. The Waffles putting some pressure late in this power play, but the beginning stages of it, they were looking slow and they were in their own zone. Clearing attempt, kept in by Smith. Charlie will play it up the middle. Smith knocks it down. It goes past center. They'll delay it offside. They'll check up. Pass across. Here's Runas. Runas doesn't get the zone. It's chipped out by Josh Wilson. Pass across. Steele plays it back. Kunkel back down low to Fontaine. Trying to go back to Kunkel, but Sampson's out the box. Chip play down. Smith hustles after it, beats Sampson there. Great play by Smith. Played up in the air. Off the glove of Steele. Down low. Jake Steele tries a pass across, but it's blocked. Now, Wilson's pass is intercepted at the line. Here's Kunkel. Kunkel plays it up. Josh Wilson beats it past there. That was Runas trying to look for a play. He didn't see the pressure on him right away. Banman will want to keep the play going, so stick it to the corner. Almost a bad play, though, as there's someone driving the middle there. Runas tries to bring it up. It knocks off his stick by Wilson there. Clearing attempt off the glove, the helmet there of Steele. Now they'll go for a change, the wingers will, for the Waffles. Here's Wilson's shot. Pad save by Banman. Number 81 Hall. It's knocked off his stick. Here's Charlie. Charlie battling with Kunkel. Charlie will push Kunkel along the zone, behind his own net. Josh Wilson's shot. Blocked, up in the air, out of play. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate you. Just over 2 minutes left, 2 minutes and 16 seconds to be exact. In this game, Whalers lead 4-3. Waffles down 1 goal. We'll see if they'll pull their goalie if they get the offensive zone. I would assume so. Get a man advantage. Off the draw, Butterworth wins it. It's chipped up in some feet. Play it up. Here's Bernard. Bernard, watched by Sylvester. Bernard gets the zone and chips it back. Oyster down low to Butterworth. Butterworth controls. 2 minutes left. Shot. Bannon was coming out trying to look for a pull the goalie. Now I think they'll bring him out. Controlling it. Here's a play from the wall from Hall. Played up. Here's Oyster. Oyster controls, chips it in down low. Minute and 20 seconds left. Waffles can't get a chance to keep possession in the offensive territory to pull their goaltender. They've tried 3 times now. Every single time it was unsuccessful. Here's Rose. Rose plays it up the wall. Knocked down. Last minute of play in this game. And the goalie will come off now. Swung around in deep. Here's Minhas. Banman comes out, 6-on-5, extra attacker. Put up to the middle. Here's Rose. Rose shot. Glove save by Stone. He kind of, I think it was in the edge of his glove there. I don't think he fully grabbed it. Or he didn't think he fully had it, so he had to kind of bring it towards the wall too to make sure he can swallow that up. Get the hand under it. Goaltender pulled. 44.2 seconds left in this game. Face-off draw. Draw won by the Waffles. It'll be redone. It was in some feet. I'm not sure. Kind of like a toss-up who was going to win that draw, actually. The Waffles player picked it up, but off the draw it was pretty even. Yeah, there's only 2 periods, David. And if they tie it up, it's going to be overtime, though. And for playoffs, if there is overtime for everybody watching as well, it'll be 4-on-4 for 5 minutes. That's icing against the Whalers here. And as they ice it, looking for the empty net, it'll go back into the Whalers zone on that area for them. They try to, good luck though. Might as well try it. Up a goal. They're not the ones on the hot seat. The Waffles are. Whalers win this play. Giving away Minha's shot. Toe save Stone. Huge save for the Whalers goalie there. Rose to Minha's. Minha's back to Rose. And then trying to go back to Minha's just inside center, but he chips out of play. Face-off will pop out in neutral territory, I believe. They still bring their goalie out. There's 18 seconds left. If they're going to score a goal, now will be the time. Fontaine's shot blocked by the stick of Seward and into the glove of Stone. 13.8 left. That killed about 4.5 seconds. Time winding down. Shots on goal 24-20 in favor of the Whalers against the Waffles here. This is the probably one of the last of one or two attempts to score a goal here. Off the draw, it's kept down low by Wilson. Now given away, pass in front, looking for steal, but it's out of his reach. Paul rips it at the empty net, and it's icing with 2.8 seconds left, just off the side of the net. It's a great look from Paul there to give his team a 2-goal lead. Here's the very last chance for the Waffles to win a draw and get a quick goal to tie it up at 4. I don't think they will, but you never know. 2.8 isn't a lot. I don't know if you win the draw there and you shoot it, I don't know if you'll have time to even go in the net before the horn goes off rather. Off the draw, it's lost in some feet, whacked at, and that'll do it. The Whalers will take this game 4-3, your final. Big win from the Whalers here. Yeah. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate you. We'll be back at you with the 4th, I believe, and final game of this evening shortly, or this afternoon rather, shortly. Thank you.